are listening to LOA Recon with the Good Vibe Coach Jeanette Ma, where we dissect the ins and outs and the art and science of conscious creation, all intended to amp up your manifesting game. Let's have some fun together. Hey, thanks for tuning in for another episode. As usual, I have some thoughts I would love to share with you about amping up your manifesting game. But before we do, I want to say thanks to Alice for leaving a fabulous review on iTunes. She writes, "Longtime listener here, and it's about time for me to be writing a review because I can't recommend this podcast highly enough. I love listening to LOA Recon in the morning to start my day off in a great mood. Jeanette's happiness and enthusiasm for life are infectious. Listening to her always puts me in a better frame of mind. I love that she provides tips, ideas, and suggestions, along with examples from her own life." I do a lot of that, don't I? She writes, "Lately, I've been feeling a bit unfocused at home, trying to stay on top of work projects and balancing workouts, health, mental health. So I'd be super appreciative if you could do an episode about retaining your focus and focus on LOA during times like these when your mind feels jumbled." Alice, that's exactly what we are doing at the 14-day manifesting event. When did you leave this? April 20th. Okay, so hopefully you're in that already. 14daymanifesting.com. If you're not, it's a free online. It's exactly what I had going on. I was like, dang, I'm losing track of my alignment practice. Like I distracted with things not so pleasant. And I was like, I got to get back on my game here. And I knew I wasn't the only one. So I invited everyone to the party. I was like, hey, let's do this together, everyone. That's what we're doing at the 14-day manifesting event. I really, really hope you're there, Alice. Because I agree. Yes, it's easy to get distracted, but I'll do you an episode too, because that's a fabulous review. So thank you so much for that. All right, here's what I want. In fact, you know what today's episode is inspired by? People at the 14-day manifesting event who have some desires as to what they want to manifest. Yeah, I got some thoughts on that. So this episode is about what to know when you are manifesting something away. Like when you're trying to get rid of something, like whether maybe you want to lose the weight or get rid of the debt or put an end to a loved one's bad behavior or heal from an illness or maybe just to stop feeling lonely. There are all sorts of times we might bring our manifesting magic to the table in order to get rid of something. But here's the thing. We can't do that. You can't get rid of what you don't want, not while you're paying attention to it anyway, because our attention to what we don't want, whether it's the debt or the weight or the illness or the uncooperative spouse or the feeling we don't like, whatever it is, that requires it to be in our reality when that's what we're paying attention to. It's like it locks it in when we try to push it out. Kind of like that Chinese finger trap. So maybe that's like, you know what I'm saying? The more we push against something, the more we fight against it, the more we are growing it. It's locked into our reality when that's how we feel about it because we've engaged it. That's where our focus is, and whatever we focus on grows. So when you want to get rid of something, it works way, way better if we do one of two things. Actually, we could do both of these at the same time, I think. The first one is, let's make some peace with it. Let's give up the battle. That's what I'm asking you to do. Drop the resistance. Because as long as you really, really don't want it, you're stuck with it. I know I've done this routine enough times. I put it to the test. If there was a way around it, I would be sharing it. But it really just works better when we can let it be okay. Even if we just decide, I'm temporarily going to be okay with this because we're smart like that. Because we know pushing against it isn't actually going to let it go anywhere. In fact, I think if we could even take that a step further, not just make some peace with it, but we could welcome it. We could embrace it, maybe even appreciate it. Savvy creators know that's not a stretch because when we know the role of contrast in our life, that it's easy to celebrate that we discovered something, a way life could get even better. But that's one approach to it, is to make peace with it. Another is, and I think combining these could be super savvy, that's to just switch our attention over to what we do want, what we would rather. So what would you rather if you don't want the weight and you don't want the debt and you don't want the illness or the bad feeling? What would you rather? That's all it takes. It's subtle, But it's a powerful difference. Let's look at this at some real life examples. Alice said, I speak from my real life. Yeah, so I have one look, once upon a time, I wanted to eliminate debt too. This was before I was LOA savvy. I had a job I did not love. You've heard me tell this story before, so I will keep this version short. Didn't like it at all whatsoever. Oh boy, my body even didn't like going. Man, I did it for a long time though, because I didn't know any better. And I asked myself, why do I make myself go to this job I hate so much? And the answer was, because you got bills, girl. And I thought, well, if I didn't have bills, then I wouldn't have to go to this job. I could have a different job that I would be easier to like. Yeah, maybe I'd make less money, but it wouldn't matter because I won't have the bills, so it'd be fine. So my plan became get rid of the bills. And I did. I started paying off the bills, the little ones, credit cards here and there. And then all I had left was the mortgage. That was a pretty big bill. But I was not daunted. I started making triple house payments. And that wasn't that hard for me because, first of all, I lived in a very reasonable home and I made decent money and I didn't spend money. Like, I didn't have expensive habits. I didn't care about jewelry. I didn't want to travel. All I wanted to do was stay home with my dogs. That's all I wanted to do, not work this stupid job. So I did. I made triple house payments for 5 years. Oh my gosh. 5 years. I went to a job that I hated. I became a zombie in the process. I was just so exhausted from doing something I hated for so long that I would come home and collapse on the couch. I was useless. It was bad. My poor body, she was revolting, like physical symptoms doctors were mystified by, until I went to the alternative health doctor who said, it's obvious. He muscle tested me and he said, it's obvious. You got to quit your job and break up with your boyfriend. I wasn't ready to hear that at the time. Okay, so the reason I'm telling this story is because I put this one to the test where I got rid of all the debt, all of it, so I could be financially free. And remember, I was making decent money doing so. So when I roll up, here's what happened. On the day I made my last mortgage payment, which I had imagined would be, the day where everything changes for me. Life gets better. Yeah, no, that's not what happened. Life was the exact same thing it had been for me for the whole 5 years. I made myself do this miserable routine because I got a hint. I got a sneaky suspicion that Charlie is in the house. I think someone forgot to lock the door and Charlie let himself in. I'm going to come play in a minute, guys. Hang tight. Okay, so I make that last house payment. Wait, we just got to think for a minute. Is there anything the dogs could get in? Harvey's really well behaved. Charlie, I got to ask, is there anything out that he could get in? I think we're okay. All right, so, I make my last payment. I don't know what I thought, the angels would break out into chorus and there would be confetti and balloons. No, I make the last payment and I'm the exact same zombie I was the day before. With the mortgage, after the mortgage, nothing changed in how I felt. I've shared this story before about the folly of thinking that it's the external circumstances that dictate how we feel. The truth is, how we feel is whatever we've been practicing. And all I had been practicing for a very long time was misery. So becoming debt-free didn't change anything for me. Oh boy, I didn't like the way I had to learn that one. I shared this story with you so you don't have to do that routine. So from what I know now, oh yeah, Charlie's definitely here. I can hear them playing in the background. They're playing though, so that's good. Okay, so this was a really cool manifestation. My mom had given, this is totally unrelated. My mom had given Harvey a really cool toy for Christmas. It was this squeaky possum from PetSmart. It had 2 squeakers in it. It was Harvey's favorite toy. Well, it was also Charlie's favorite toy. And when Charlie started coming over to play, that was the first toy he destroyed. And I told my mom that because Harvey had a birthday last month and I thought maybe she could get him another one. And she said she tried, but she couldn't find it. And he doesn't like any of his other toys nearly as much. So the other day I decided Harvey deserves a really good toy that he loves. And I just decided I was going to find it. Sure enough, I logged on and it wasn't hard. I found it. I ordered 4 so there could be one at Mom's house, one at another house we visit sometimes. and 2 over here. We'll have 1 in reserves. So in case Charlie gets his teeth in the next one. All right. Here's what I'm talking about. Oh, so if I were looking to manifest debt, or manifest, see how I said it? But that's actually how universe hears it too. You're saying manifest no debt, but universe only hears debt. Oi, that's Charlie. Okay, so I can't believe I came over to play while I'm recording. All right. My first thought would be, look, what do we have against debt? What do we have against the debt? Why do I think of it as a bad thing? Here's why I'm asking those questions. I just want to soften my feelings on that subject. Again, because the more I push against it, the more I'm growing it. So if I could just stop making it the big, bad, ugly guy, instead, just be a little more at peace with it. Maybe a lot more at peace, even temporarily at peace. Let's stop making it such a bad thing, okay? What I'm asking you to do there is give up your resistance to it. Oh, they're knocking on my door. Okay. It's because he can hear me in here. Maybe if I whisper, they'll go away. He's already been over to play once today. Okay. There's always playtime, I guess. Okay, here's what else I would do. Instead of asking myself how to get rid of this debt, I'd be like, okay, first of all, this debt isn't the big, bad, ugly thing, and I'm making it out to be. Instead, I would ask myself, what do I think getting rid of it is going to do for me? What do I think that's going to give me? More freedom? More ease? More feeling like a responsible adult? I don't know. Some people have some shame around it. I would give that up in a heartbeat. Look, I got rid of mine, and then later in life, seemed smart to take on some more. I have debt now. I'm fabulously at peace with it. It can be a beautiful thing. There's nothing bad about debt in and of itself. Abraham says that. It doesn't matter what you do. It only matters how you feel. So just do what's easier to feel better about. I'm saying sometimes debt is a fabulous thing. Okay, so whatever you think it's going to do for you, give that to yourself right here, right now, even with the debt in place. Because remember, nothing outside of us is in charge of how we feel. That's always and forever an inside job. The money can't make us happy. That's on us to find our way to happiness. I even discovered that, gosh, you know what? I was going to say I had my dream job and still was stressed out. I was stressed out because I'd practiced stress. So I quit my corporate job eventually, and then I was stressed out when I had the job. I was stressed out when I quit the job because now I am unemployed with no income stream. Stressed out to be building my coaching practice that I hoped would work, but didn't know for sure. Then it did pretty quickly too, and then I was stressed out because I'd so many clients. Stress was all I'd practiced. Universe has to say, well, it just knows she's stressed, so whatever she's focused on, because trust me, I did my focusing work on clients, so it was like it had to give me clients because I didn't give it any other option, but it gave me those clients with my same stress vibe in place because that's all I'd been practicing. I hadn't really done a good job of letting go of stress and practicing relief or satisfaction or success. Stress was all I knew. But once I had my dream job, my most fabulous thing, if I could do anything, this is what it would be. And I was still stressed out. And then I realized, oh, girl, this is on you. You got to find your way to happiness. Same thing happened. This was before I was LOA savvy. It was a freaking dream job. It was a job I did for no money. I'm going to cry. It was a job I did for no money. I wanted this job more than anything. And I did it. Fostering kittens. Come on. I wanted that more than anything, and I did it. And I even brought stress to that. The outside thing doesn't dictate how we feel, y'all. It's on us to find our way there. So whatever you think releasing the debt is going to do for you, give that gift to yourself now, because nothing and no one else can give that to you. Same as if I'm looking to drop the weight, and this one is not hypothetical for me right now. So I would ask myself, okay, what's that about? First of all, what do I have against some extra curves? I want to make some peace. So I just want to ask, well, you think this is so bad? There's nothing wrong with this. I'm asking those questions because I want to get to a place where I'm not in resistance to it, because as long as I'm in resistance to it, it cannot budge. And look, universe knows when you're faking it. It knows when you're saying, yeah, I'm cool with it, just so it'll go away. That doesn't fly. You've got to really, truly, genuinely make some peace. But I could do so much better than make peace with curves. Hello, I can celebrate them. These are absolutely fabulously gorgeous. There's easy to love because I've practiced before. I've gone through this routine before, so I can get here. But whatever it is that I think that I'm going to prefer about weighing less, I want to practice that right now, giving that to myself now. Is it because I think I'm going to be healthier? Is it because I just want to feel better about myself and how I look? Is it because I want to feel more comfortable in my physical body? Whatever it is that makes me think I want to weigh less, I just want to put attention on what I want more of, not on what I want less of. It's a very simple formula. And I'm just going to add, dropping weight doesn't automatically guarantee we're healthier or more attractive or more comfortable, because those are actually different things. So let's get real with ourselves about what we really want and focus on activating that. I know this discussion could leave some people thinking, yeah, but how do you make peace with the things that you really don't like? Like, how am I supposed to make peace with the maxed out credit card or an illness that might cost me my life? And I want to say, first of all, if you're a savvy, conscious creator, you know the value of giving up the battle, because we're never going to win any battles. Fighting just leads to more things to fight against. So we know that routine doesn't work. Second, look, it's not that hard to make peace when you decide to. It's only hard because you don't really trust that it's going to be in your best interests to give up the resistance. I know some folks are afraid that if they give up the battle against what they don't want, they're going to be stuck with it forever. Whether it's their depression or their weight or whatever it is. And it's the opposite, y'all. It's the exact opposite. Battling it is how we guarantee it stays with us. Making peace with it transforms it. And we could do better than make peace. We can appreciate it. All right. That's where the big magic comes from. It's from turning our attention, instead of pointing our focus on what we want to get rid of, let's put our attention on what we want more of. And the easiest way, well, I don't want to say the easiest way. One way to do that is stop making the thing that we've been pushing against such a big, bad, ugly thing. It just softens the edges. It makes it easier to work with. And you know what? I know this from, I was going to say, I had a girlfriend who she had tried everything to lose weight. I've talked about her before. And it was like, she's years in on the process. She didn't really appreciate it when I said that, you are going to probably need to make some peace with this. She stopped talking to me. But years later, she discovered, you know what? All right, I've tried everything. Nothing's worked. I guess this is how my life is going to be. So she gave up her battle and she just decided to start living her life. And guess what? Instantly lost a bunch of weight. It was amazing. It's a good thing I have a pop screen right now because I just was spitting as I was talking. I'm a little animated. You know who else tells a similar story? Carmela. Oh, she wrote a book called Happy Calories Don't Count. Her story is so cool, where we have an interview with her at Good Vibe University where she talks about how, she was in Hollywood, in the industry where weight matters a lot. And I just feel like she believed weight matters a lot. I know a lot of people do believe that. And so it felt really important. Wait, am I getting it right? I might be telling her story wrong. Anyway, she was trying to lose weight, trying, doing all the right things, nothing working, finally gave up, let herself eat what she wanted. She lost weight eating pizza and ice cream. I love that story. She's really fun to hear tell it. You know, once upon a time, I personally realized I was developing a fear of cancer. Like, I for sure knew that I did not want cancer, just from being a person who's paying attention in the world. And I realized, hey, that fear isn't going to do you any favors, girlfriend, because I was pushing against it before it had actually even found its way into my personal world. But if I kept that routine up, I know it's coming for me. And then I got worried that I was worried about it because, I'm LOA savvy at this point, so I know I'm attracting it. So I did the smart thing. I did some work with it, just to clean up my vibration on the topic. Not so that I would never get it, but so that I got a friendlier handle on the subject should it ever show up in my world. I think I've talked about that before in other episodes. Sometimes people email me asking for details on how do you make peace with something like that. That is a different episode. Because I'm trying to keep short ones. I do get lots of notes from you guys saying you like the short ones, so I'm not trying to make anything long. I'm trying to keep them short. All right. So my point being, when you're manifesting something gone, something to go away, remember that you know better than that. It isn't that we focus on what we want to get rid of, but rather let's focus on what we want more of. It's a very simple shift in attention, and it makes all the difference in the world. So here's to the freedom and the joy and the ease and the pleasure and the appreciation and the delight and the puppy play time that's at the heart of so many of our desires. We can have what we want right now when we let ourselves feel that before anything else changes. Nothing has to change for us to have what we want. It's just a matter of being willing to give that gift to ourselves now. And yes, I'm going to admit it is a lot easier when you have the likes of Charlie and Harvey playing in the other room. Those guys are so much fun. I'm going to go have fun with them. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thanks for listening, everyone.